So the last time I was doing a book review, I was talking about The Purple Cow. Now, what I read of that book was good, but I didn't quite have the interest to continue reading it. So I put that back on my bookshelf and grabbed the $100 Startup, which, as you can probably guess from the title, is a book on startups, and the author looks at people who do a startup on relatively little to no money, which is not something we would generally think of in these days where everyone is looking for, you know, thousands, tens of thousands of dollars in um, venture capitalists, startup funds, and um, the author Chris Guillebeau, I'm not sure, but probably butchered his last name, um, talked about how he did a case study, if you will, and interviewed people. He sent out surveys, um, and by the time the book was written and published, he had 1,500 um, respondents that he was looking through the criteria to um, make references to in the book. And he had 6 different criteria that he was looking for at least 4 of the 6 to make reference to in the book. So one of the criterias he mentions was follow your passion model, how people are interested on building a business around a hobby or activity they're already doing. Low startup. He, the author says he was interested in people doing business with less than $1,000 startup, especially those that cost little to nothing, less than $100. He was interested in the third criteria was at least $50,000 net income. So he was looking at people that started with next to no money and made a big profit. The fourth criteria was no special skills. He was looking for something ordinary people could do, not something with specialized skill. The fifth criteria was full financial disclosure, people that were willing to disclose what they made for the last couple of years with their business and what their projected sales for the upcoming year was. And the last criteria the author was looking at when trying to do this case study was fewer than 5 employees. In the first chapter, you see a handful of different stories shared of people that maybe lost their job and started a business, or just became a startup, if you will, and a short summary of their experience with starting their own company. Towards the end of the first chapter, he goes into 3 different lessons. The first one is Convergence, where he's looking at where your passion and what other people care about meet. So there was actually a diagram showing those 2 circles and them being in the middle. The second lesson was skill transformation, and he's kind of talking about how certain skills can transfer. So a teacher obviously teaches, but there's more skills to teaching than just teaching someone else how to do something. So the teacher might be good at communicating and keeping people in line, because if they're a school teacher, elementary school kids might have a lot of energy, so trying to keep the kids focused, that could be a transferable skill. Being able to kind of rope people back into focus instead of the kids being hyperactive and playing or whatever. Just looking for what skills you have outside of your job and what you think you're doing. The third lesson in the first chapter was the magic formula. Probably can't see it very well, but he wrote out passion or skill plus usefulness equals success, and then he goes on to kind of explain his thoughts and how that works. And what I like about this book is at the end of the chapter you get a paragraph or 2, not even paragraphs, bullet points with the key points, and each point is a sentence or 2 kind of explaining a major point or topic in the chapter.